Hello everyone, I'm really excited to be here in the garden with Tingshu Hu and Philip Zhao this morning because they are the Reader Garden Award winners for 2023. And thank you for welcoming us into your garden today. It's so beautiful.
Thanks for coming to our gardens.
We're so excited to be here.
Great pleasure to have you here.
Oh, well, thank you. And there's a lot to talk about here. There's so many different things I'm excited to share with our viewers. This is a great and really pretty entrance to your garden here with these perennials here. It's really colorful. When did you plant this?
Yeah, actually it was very different last year. We had 3 big mugo pines. Each one was like 8 feet wide.
Oh, wow.
They took up all the spaces and it doesn't look very good. So we replaced those with this blue spruce and lots of perennials.
So how did you get these? So these perennials are only 1 year old, or some of them are. The GM
only 1
and the
year old.
salvias, yeah. So how did you get? You must have great soil here.
We dumped a lot of compost,
Okay.
like chicken poops on top before the planting.
So how do you get your chicken manure compost? Do you have chickens here?
We
right?
have about 30 to 40 chickens.
Oh, wow.
We keep those just for fertilizing on the vegetable garden and the flower garden.
So you have a good supply of compost then?
Yeah, we don't buy fertilizers.
So what's your process for making the compost?
Oh yeah, just we have several compost bins. We save those chicken poops from there for like half a year, and then we move them to the vegetable gardens, and then in the spring we spread them out in the garden.
Okay, so you rotate them
Yes.
to different bins throughout
Yes.
the year, and 6 to 8 months
Yes.
you have finished compost.
Yes.
Perfect. That's great. Well, I can't wait to see more. Let's take a look up here a little bit further.
Okay.
Sure, let's go.
Let's go.
Tingshu, I love all these little plants that you have intermixed together, ground covers and reseeding plants, these little violas. When did you, how long have you had these?
Oh, I don't know, maybe for 10 years.
Oh gosh.
I just planted a couple of these plants in the backyard. I have no idea how they got here. Maybe the chipmunks, the ate
Maybe
the
so.
seeds, and then
The birds or something, yeah.
The birds live in there.
Yeah.
And so I don't need to plant them.
It's so interesting how they just insert themselves in between the cracks and in between stones.
Yes.
It's better than, I mean, I couldn't find a better spot for them than they found for themselves, I think.
Yeah, this tiny spot. It's
Yeah.
very hard for me to plant them in
Yeah.
there, but they found a spot.
Do they, so in the summer, I'm assuming they sort of start going down a little bit in the summer, or they don't look quite as pretty as they do now.
Yeah, they will grow like this tall, 2
Oh, wow.
feet, and very leggy, and then the seeds will start, you will get ready. And then I don't want to have too many of those. So I just put them out. And the good thing is that the root system is very simple, just a little bit. And then when you put it out, it will not disturb the soil.
Oh, perfect. Okay. And then all these ground covers, it's just sort of like a living mulch through the garden.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
let everything go together and
Yeah, only in the first year, before the filling up the space, I add some mulch. But later on, I don't need to do it.
but now you don't need it because everything is just woven together into this sort of
Yes,
beautiful
yes.
tapestry.
Thank you.
You two have a really productive partnership here. What are your specialties?
Yeah, I think Tingshu is the master gardener of the
Okay.
gardens. She knows everything about plants.
The plant person. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, I like building things.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And this is the one that the newer project we just built last year.
Okay.
So we wanted to add a modern touch to this garden. And we built up this shallow fish pond. And we have a smaller pump that collects all the leaves over. And over there, we have the pumps water all the way back here. And this is a filter that serves dual purposes. So it's actually a tiny aquaponic growing bed. So it collects all the nutrients from the fish pond and release the cleaner water back to the fish pond. So in this way, I don't need to clean up the filters very often.
Nice.
Because, yeah.
That's good. And then you can grow different things right here in this little garden that's fed
Exactly.
by the...
Yeah, we're trying strawberries and tomatoes this year.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they're growing well. You see
Yeah.
these fruits, tomato fruits.
Yeah,
right
there's
here.
lots of tomatoes coming on.
Yeah.
That'll be fun to handy to pick too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Little
also
snacks.
the waterfall, the sound of it, that we love it very much.
It's so
It's
great.
relaxing.
Really relaxing here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you also built this solarium at the same time?
Yeah, this is kind of the temporary solarium and the seasonal solarium at the time. Because now it's spring and summer, okay, it's wide open.
Mm-hmm.
But winter time, we'll cover it up with glasses, plexiglasses.
Mm-hmm.
And in the coldest day, when sun shines, the temperature inside this solarium can go way up and more than 80 degrees. And we have that pipe over there. We have the blower underneath to guide the hot air back into the house. And
Oh.
we still can feel it, the
So
warmth of it.
It helps keep the house a little bit warmer
Yeah.
in the wintertime. And then what do you do with your fish in the winter?
Yeah, in wintertime, because the pond is too shallow,
And these are koi.
we scoop them out,
Mhm.
and get them back into the sunroom.
Okay.
We have a 250-gallon fish tank over there, and they live happily over there over winter.
And do you have an aquaponics system in there as well?
There is another one as well. Yeah, we like the idea of having the plants taking all the nutrients.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really smart. What a great way to use all these resources. I love it.
Yeah.
And then this is such a pretty little bed over here. Lots of color going on.
Yeah.
I like how you planted in each of the holes of the.
Yeah,
It's like a new planting pocket.
That
Very
was small.
cute.
Yeah, very small plants, very cute.
Yeah.
But they will fill up this bed.
When they cascade
And
over the edges.
Yeah,
and-
this will spill out like the creeping Jenny. They will spill to cover
Oh yeah.
the wall.
It'll cover the whole thing.
Mhm.
Beautiful. I know you started in the backyard. Was this also all lawn when you first moved here?
Yes, it was.
And so, when did you? How did you decide to start planting here, and when did you do that?
Yeah, we hesitated at the very beginning because they want to keep it consistent to our neighbors. We all have huge lawns at the
Mhm.
front yard.
Right.
And it's the time when it becomes necessary when we got this young baby, Luke,
Look.
here.
Yeah.
And want to give him a space that he can run freely
Mm-hmm.
and sunny space. And
Mhm.
that's the place. So that's the year of 2016, 17.
Okay.
So we started building the fences.
Mm-hmm.
The width, you can see the width of these.
The spacing.
Spacing is to the width that he cannot
Aw.
get out. Yeah, but over the time we started planting the flowers around the fences,
Mm-hmm.
and we got approval from our neighbors. They liked it.
They enjoyed it.
They enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So then we started to plant more and adding a
Vegetable.
vegetable garden here as well.
Mhm.
It's not visible from outside actually
Right.
with the fences.
Uh-huh.
And then we got problems of rabbits.
Always the
'Cause they can-
rabbits.
Yeah, they can get through these fences.
Uh-huh.
So that is when we think about maybe we need to add an extra layer of protection because
Mhm.
we don't want to shoot them or cage them. We
Mhm.
just say
Stay out.
has a
Yeah.
clear line that say don't get in here. Then
Right.
we live happily like in our own world. So that's when we add up these chicken wires. So it's not that visible from a distance,
Not
but
at
it's
all.
functional
Very much
that
so.
it prevents rabbits from getting in.
And do you put something down low as well? Do you have to dig
Yeah,
anything
we have
down
to
into the
bury
soil?
them
Yeah,
deep down.
just
Yeah.
4 or 3 feet. Oh, so
Inches.
inch,
Yeah,
inch.
three or four
Yeah.
inches below the
Mm,
soil.
yes.
Yeah.
The chicken wire or the
To keep the rabbit away.
perfect. That's great. It's really
Mm.
nice. And then the other thing I noticed over here is you have this edging here
Yeah.
along the flower beds, and that's for a new toy.
Yeah, that's
we
fun.
just got this one a few months ago. There's a robotic lawnmower.
Right.
Yeah, so it needs guidance. I need to have a runway to cut through all the edges of
Uh-huh.
the grass. So that's when we build up this one. So the wheels can go up onto this path so they can cut it clean. So
Right.
instead of me to adding trimming to that.
Well, it's functional and beautiful both.
Yeah, it
The
saves
edging.
lots of time
Yeah.
as well.
That's
And
nice.
it's enjoyable to see it working while sitting there sipping a coffee or something.
That's
like
right.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then this is one of your sunniest spots in the garden,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
yes.
And
Full
so
sun.
this is your full sun spot. So you have a couple of vegetables growing here. It looks like
Yeah, yeah.
you've got the garlic,
Mm-hmm.
and I see it has some scapes on it right now.
Yes, yes.
So tell me about how you harvest your garlic.
Oh, I use that tool.
Yeah. So you have a special tool.
Yeah, I have a special tool. I just use that tool to cut through
Uh-huh.
a very thin layer of this
Uh-huh.
from top to the bottom, and then I slide this out.
So it slices all
Yes.
the way down,
Yeah.
and then you harvest the whole the
Yeah,
whole
almost
scape
the whole
all the way
scape.
down to the.
Yes.
I always had been I'd been doing it wrong all this time, and just snapping it off at the top.
Ah, you wasted most of the delicious part.
Now I know.
And that because that tool is very sharp, it will have minimum damage to the leaves. So the leaves will keep growing and feeding the bulb.
So
down
then you
there.
can harvest the bulbs.
Yes, the
later
bulb
in a-
will be
in a
like
month
this
or two.
big.
Yeah.
After a month.
Perfect. Perfect. And then this is an unusual lettuce that I'd never seen before.
Yeah. This is called celtus or stem lettuce.
Stem lettuce or celtus. Okay.
Harvest the stem. It will grow like this big
Okay.
and
yeah.
this long.
Wow. And so when you harvest it, you take the leaves off?
Yeah, the leaves. The leaves also can be cooked.
Okay.
But because I have too much of this, I feed this to chickens.
Right. Well, you have well-fed and healthy chickens.
Oh,
They have
yeah.
they eat their greens.
Yeah.
So you take the leaves off and chop up the stems
Yeah.
and use
Yeah.
them like you would use celery or
Yeah, like I can fry,
Uh-huh.
stir fry, or just like make some kind of salad with it.
right or like a pickle.
Marinate and then eat them raw.
Perfect. That sounds delicious.
I have two different types of lettuce over here.
Okay.
One is early ripening, and I
Mhm.
have already harvested all of them.
hmm
And this is will be in like 2 or 3 weeks. They will
Okay.
be ready.
So
So,
are the early ones are quicker to bolt, and
Yes.
these are a little bit more heat tolerant,
Yes.
so they're
Yeah.
a little slower to bolt.
yes.
Okay.
And then I plant these summer vegetables and those kind of
So,
berries.
so you interplant the early season crops with the summer heat loving crops.
Yes.
In these beds. That's perfect. That's a really smart use of the space.
Yeah.
That's great. So the backyard's where your garden started, right? And what was it like when you first moved here?
When we just moved here, there's nothing, just the lawn,
Okay.
all grasses. And it took too much effort and water for the life. So we decided to make it into a garden with a variety of plants. We started with 2 key elements in this garden that we built first. One is this crabapple tree that Tingshu likes the most. It has to be at the center of this garden if she wants to see from inside. And my dream of a garden is a fish pond. I want it to be at the remote end of the lawn so that we have a destination, a focal point that has a reason for us to go through the garden to that fish pond. So this is how we started. We planted this tree first, and then we built up that fish pond over there. And after that, everything's built around these 2 key elements.
So they were all framing. It's all framing and working around these first 2 things that
Yes.
you put in.
Yeah.
And so you have borders and
Yeah.
plants all over, and then you've got these paths that go through.
Yes.
And you did all the path? You
We
did everything
all the
yourselves?
paths. We did
right.
everything. We built up everything by our hands. And this path is not what we originally designed. Initially, we thought about more natural, curving, winding path through the back. But when we got these bricks, we had a second thought because a winding path will need lots of cuts
On the bricks.
on the bricks. So then we decided probably we should go with straight lines.
Well, I like
I-
it because the plantings are so exuberant and beautifully mixed together. It's kind of nice to have those straight line
Yeah,
contrasts.
kind of contrast to
Yeah, it's a nice combination.
Yeah, it
I like
turns
it a
out
lot.
to be pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
These hazelnut trees serves actually 2 purposes here. It's sitting in between the garden and the greenhouse. And the height is perfect that it blocks the view from the garden.
Nice.
And wintertime, and when all the leaves fall, it still get sunlight through into the greenhouse. But it has another interesting function is that we have peach trees over there on the slope, and the squirrels coming from the trees over here, and these hazelnuts stop squirrels from going further into the peach trees.
They're well fed here.
Yeah, they're very well fed here. They love the hazelnuts.
Nice.
So it stops them from getting the peaches over there.
So you like peaches better than hazelnuts?
Yes. So we are
too.
happy as well.
Yeah.
Just let them get all the hazelnuts.
Yeah, I would say that too.
Yeah.
That's good. And so speaking of the greenhouse, then this is your pandemic project.
Yes, exactly. So when everybody stays at home, it's 2020.
2020.
Yeah. And we use this as a physical exercise. So this one is half sunken for multiple reasons. The first one is that because of the scale of it, the size of it, we don't want this overtaking the view of the garden. So it's less visible with this height. And the other part is that this is built with the climate battery and geothermal concept in it. So it's a sunken greenhouse makes it better to keep the heat in the wintertime.
This has been so interesting and fun today, getting a tour of your garden. It's just beautiful and so many things to, so many ideas and projects to learn from as well. And I'd like to just really congratulate you on the 2023 Reader Garden Award.
Thank you for the award.
Thank you so much for visiting us. You're welcome back anytime.
I would love to come back and see it in a different time of year. I know it's beautiful all
Sure.
year.
Sure.
Okay.